No joke this week, Hurricane Irma's coming, and I have friends in Florida, so I'm really hoping they'll be okay. It's going to cause a lot of property damage. That's going to suck for that state. They're going to need more aid, which is going to, of course, cause a bigger debt for the country, and we're all going to need to come together for that and everything. And so it's going to be tough and everything, and I hope my friends in Florida don't get murdered by the hurricane. Or people who aren't my friends get murdered by the hurricane, actually. Hope nobody dies. Hope nobody dies. Yeah, that's what's important. I guess a hurricane couldn't murder, though, because it'd need intent, right? Unless you give it a knife or something, maybe that counts. Welcome, friends, Lost Scarf here, and it's time for the vlog. So there's 3 orders of business to talk about, and then the 4th. Okay, here's what we're talking about. We're going to talk about the emote for Twitch, the upgrades for new compy, job interviews, and Dean Takahashi. I really feel like that's something worth talking about. I was considering talking about the kickbox or talking about depression, but that's actually really retarded. Sorry for those who actually get offended by the word retarded. I didn't think off the top of my head. It's really stupid. That's what it is. It's really dumb, that whole depression thing. It's really dumb. We don't need to talk about that. I might still talk about it because of chemical stuff, but that's if I get through everything else faster. So that'll be the last thing if we get through it. First up, Twitch icons. Okay, so we need to do this already. We need to make the Twitch emote. I didn't mean Twitch icon. Twitch emote. We need to make this already. An affiliate can have 3, but you only get 1. The way it works is, my understanding is, at $5 subs, you get 1. If you get a $10 sub, you get 2, or a number of them, not sure. And then $25 subs unlocks the 3rd one for you. I can guarantee we're just going to have 1. Someone might be nice enough to do the 25, but I will never try to guilt you guys into doing that, or forcing you or asking you to do that. That's a nice amount of money, but I'm not going to ask you guys to do that. Making a lot of money on the channels, on YouTube and Twitch would be great, but that's not something you should ever ask. I think you earn it. You gotta earn that. And so we're working towards earning that, of course. We have 16 subs. We're just going to keep earning and earning and earning and going up. But that's a digression. We're talking about the emotes. So on the screen are 3 emotes, is my understanding from Jinx. And these are ones you can vote on. Do you want this to be the emote? Vote 1, 2, or 3, or other. You can say other, and other would be, you don't like the 3, and you have a different suggestion. So if you have a suggestion, put other than their suggestion in the comments. Please do this comment. Please vote, everybody, because the sooner we get this vote done, the sooner we get it done, because we've been dragging our ass on this really bad. We need to make this emote already, so make the votes, please. That's first order of business. Second order of business, the upgrades are coming. We've saved up enough. We've made the orders. The upgrades are coming, everybody. The upgrades are coming. So, we have the 1080p monitor. We have the Ryzen 7. We have a motherboard that I don't know how to name. We have a new case coming. We have RAM coming. We have just all these things, all these great things coming together. And we're going to build a new compy. And this compy is going to be amazing. It's going to be really strong. It's going to have the same video card we have currently, which is a really good video card, though. And so it's going to be amazing. And we're going to experiment with a lot of stuff. We're going to see if we can do 1080p content, I assume, but you should never assume when you think about it. So we might not be able to do 1080p, but I want to believe we can do 1080p with that much power we're going to have. I want to believe that. And if we can't, sorry, we can't. But I want to believe we can do 1080p. The other thing is streaming and recording at the same time, at the highest possible quality. I want to be able to do that. And this should be possible with the new compy. If it's not, again, that sucks, but I hope it is. It should be, because old compy has been old for a long time, and I want to believe it's doable, but at the end of the day, you find out when you do it, and we'll see. But it's important that we need to be able to do recording and stream at the same time, because of job interviews. Because if I get a job, I can only stream and record at the same time, or I have to do one or the other. And if we have to do one or the other when I have like a 10-hour chunk of my day gone, that's going to make us suffer in one way or the other. And I don't want us to suffer. I want us to have our cake and eat it too a little bit. Because I like our YouTube community and I like our streaming community. So I want to not sacrifice either one. So hopefully we don't have to. That's really the thought process there. And we'll see how that goes. But the upgrades are coming. Gonna build it. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little anxious because I don't want to screw this up. but I'm gonna build the compy myself, and I hope I don't screw it up. I was looking at the Ryzen 7, and I already put my finger on the adhesive for the fan. So I've already might have screwed up already. Well, I only touched a little, so it shouldn't be bad. But if I had wiped away a lot of the adhesive, that would have been probably really bad. But it's only a little, just a little bit, so it should be fine. I hope. Maybe I should order extra material. I don't know, but it's getting built. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen sometime in the next month or so. So that's coming. Hype, hype. 13 job interviews. Okay, so job interviews. There's going to be an interview next Wednesday for me. This is going to be in wastewater laboratory technician. In October or November, there will be a second interview. This will be for potable water laboratory technician. And then sometime at the end of the year, or the beginning of the next year, will be plant operator trainee. That's the one I want. That's the one. That's the golden one. Luckily, I can interview for all three. Even if I get the other jobs, I can still interview for the third one, because this is all with the same city. So that's good news. In ranking, though, the wastewater one is the least one I want, and then the second is potable, and then the third, the one I want the most, is the one at the end of the year. But what's important is, because I know I have 3 interviews, I can use these interviews to try different ideas, to practice in preparation for that last one. If I get either of these jobs, awesome, I have a job now. But by having a job, it will affect, of course, streaming and everything else. We'll talk about that in a second. I want to talk about the interviews. Wastewater is not my strong point. Potable is. So I'm going to fumble a little bit on the questions. I'm going to study as best I can, but I'm going to fumble on the questions. I'm talking about this so maybe you can have some mindset about interviews in the future for yourself. I'm going to write down all the questions I think they might ask, write out all the answers I think I can have for those questions, and practice that out. That's what I'm going to do, so I have good answers. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go in there, I'm going to tell them about myself, I'm going to tell them about my 5 degrees, my 5 certificates with the state. I'm going to tell them about my knowledge, my laboratory knowledge, all that stuff. That's the open. Then they're going to ask me lab questions, and I might get them, I might blow them a little bit, because wastewater isn't my expertise. There might be some questions I'm not really good on. There's going to be a question about personnel. What if these 2 guys are arguing, or this guy's always on his phone, something like that. It's going to be a safety question. How do I handle that safety thing? Stuff like that. And then there's the last question. Anything else you want to say or ask questions about? Usually, at this point, I'm asking questions about maybe the plant, or the lab, or when we'll know. Just general interest questions. And I might still ask that, but this is the one thing I want to try to do differently, and that is make a statement. And that statement is, you can rely on me. Like, I'm just going to whip it out there and just put it on the table for them. And I'm just going to say, maybe I got these questions good and maybe I didn't, but here's what I think. I have proven I can learn. I have 5 certificates, 5 degrees. I can learn. I can gain knowledge. Whoever you have train me. I will listen to what they have to say. I will write down a bunch of stuff. And then I'll just get a note of everything we have, all the things, write everything down. And then I'll know how you guys want me to do sampling, how you guys want me to put the chemicals together, how you want me to do your bottling, all that stuff, how you want me to clean, all that stuff. I can learn that. I've proven I can learn. I will commit that to muscle memory. I will commit that to memory. I will know it. I will write everything down. I will make my own SOPs if I have to. There is always a procedure on how to do things. You guys have to have it written down legally, so that's going to be out there. Then I'll write down my own notes for that as well, in case somehow I lose the legal one. I will know how to do everything in the first week. And I can start next week. So here you are. There you go. Keep that in mind. Thank you for the interview. That's what I'm going to do for the first one. I don't know if they're going to give feedback. I hope they do. Regardless of what happens there, if I don't get the job, I will take notes on how I could have done things better. Take it to the next interview. That interview, I know that they do give feedback because the potable side has said they will do it. So I do this interview. Maybe I still do that up front, like I know how to do things. I will know this stuff. You can rely on me kind of thing, and see how that goes. Now, they'll be able to give me feedback, so I'll know if that's too aggressive or something like that. And then there's the third one for the water operator trainee. And with all that feedback from the potable, whatever I learned from the wastewater, from the one from the summer, where I got 3rd out of 2,000 people, all that knowledge, culminating all that together for this next interview, the third one. Trying to get that one. And if I don't get that one, I do not know what to think anymore. Ow, hit my head on the thing. I don't know what to think if I blow that third one. I really don't know what to think if I blow it. I don't know what else. I don't know. I will probably be at a low point if that happens, but I believe I'm getting one of these three for sure. And if I get the first one, that takes the pressure off because then I have a job and then I can just do the other two interviews, kind of just do my best at them, but not too much pressure because I have the job already. Because when you have a lot of pressure on you, you can screw up. At the same time, I don't have a lot of pressure for this first one because I have two more going. So the idea is I'm going to do my best, but I'm not going to die of anxiety. And maybe it's the anxiety when I did the 2000, got third out of that one job interview. Maybe the anxiety is what got me out of it. There's theories for other reasons why it might have been why I didn't get it, but that is a theory as well. So I could cut that out by just not having the pressure. So we will see. If I do get the job, what does it mean? What it means is that's 10-ish hours out of the day. That is going to the job, that's traffic, eating, resting, all that stuff out of the day. Besides sleeping, which is 7-8 hours of the day as well. I'd probably go for like a solid 7 or 6 hour sleep schedule if I get the job. And the job should be about 6 a.m. to 2 or 3 o'clock. 8 hours. So 6 to 3. 6 to 3 job. Getting home, be traffic between that. So like probably get up at 5 in the morning for the drive there. Get home around 4-ish. Probably rest and eat. And then I'll be good to go for streaming and recording. And that would be around 5 p.m., 6 p.m. and we'd go until 8 or 9 p.m. Then I'd go to bed at 10 for that 7 to 6 hours. Get up the next day and keep going. And that's Monday through Friday. And the weekends just go to town on the channel. I don't ever, of course, I don't want the channel to suffer. We have to adapt, and that's how I'm going to try to adapt. I've been thinking about it. That's the best way I think I can do it. That's what's going to happen to adapt. If I get the water job, though, if I get the water plant job, that is 10-hour days or 12-hour days, depending on where it is. And that does affect days, because if it's 10-hour days, then that's 4 days a week, not 5 days a week. So I have 3 days to do channel stuff. And then if it's 12 hours, it also changes the schedule as well. But the other thing about water plant operator is they do shifting shifts. So for a couple months, day shift. A couple months, afternoon shift. A couple months, dead shift. So that will definitely change the schedule for sure. Because guaranteed, I'll be points where I just can't do. But on my days off, I can still do whatever I want to do. So that's life, and you got to adapt to whatever life brings you. I'm going to try to adapt in that way, and hopefully it works out. I wish we could do the channel full-time. We've currently been doing the channel full-time, but that's because I haven't had a job. I've been looking for work, and I've just been living at home while doing that. The plan now is, of course, get a job, have that job, build up a community while doing the job and everything, getting more, like, just growing more in the community, getting better equipment, being able to purchase bigger games, stuff like that, and just going forward with that. And then we'll get big enough someday, hopefully, to be able to go full-time again. And then I'm living on my own devices instead of living at home doing this. And that would be the goal. Who knows how many years that will take, but that is the idea. That is the goal in the long run. It would have been nice if we exploded in the first couple of years and we made like 1 million subs and made all that money. That would have been great. But not everyone climbs the mountain that way. We're climbing the mountain in this gradual community growth way. There's nothing wrong with that either. Because by growing it slow, I get to connect to you guys and gals and learn about everyone, and we get to grow as a community together and just grow like that. When you grow fast, you can connect with a couple people, but you just have a bajillion people you don't really know who really like you. And so there's just different ways about different things, and so we'll see how this goes. I can talk about... No, I'll talk about I'll talk about depression first real quick. Depression, the guy's mindset... I'm giving him time of day for this. The mindset is you can just get out of depression through training and other crap like that. You can. It's a level, everyone has different levels of depression. People have different ways out of the hole. Some people need to be medicated to get out. Some people, maybe it is just change some things about your life to get out. There's a lot of different things. And there's some people who maybe they'll just never get out of it. I still get depressed on occasion, as we know. But there's times when I don't get depressed and stuff like that. But this guy's belief is that depression doesn't exist at all. It's not real. It's just people being sad and people using it as an excuse and as a weakness. This is why this man has taken way too many hits to the head is the only excuse we can all make, because that is the stupidest thing any human being could think. Because it is. If you have the mindset that you can just train out of depression, bro, lady bro, whatever. No. This is real. There's been enough scans. It's basically the same thing. Denying depression is the same thing as climate change denial. It's the same stupid thing. We have too much evidence on it. It's really dumb to think it's not a thing. Now, he wants to use anecdotal evidence. He's like, hey, here's all these people. I got mad respect for these people who have given me anecdotal evidence that they got out of depression by training and all that stuff. I'll give anecdotal evidence as well on this. My sister is a very strong person, a very happy person. And one day she just started crying, and she couldn't explain why. She was having a good day, but she was crying. She couldn't stop. And the next day it was like that again, and the next day, and so on and so forth. She just kept crying. She went to the doctor, they told her, you're depressed, you're sad, and all this stuff. She said, no, I'm not. I'm not any of those things. For some reason, I'm just constantly down and crying, but I don't want to be. She had a literal chemical imbalance. A literal one. This is because of some medical issues she has. She has to have a specific diet, and this diet led to a chemical imbalance for her. And that chemical imbalance led to depression for her. A chemical depression. My depression is very much weighed through mental and other things. Hers is very much weighed through chemical. And so she needed pills to be able to just be normal. This is not something she can train out of. She can't do that at all. She needs the pills to not have this happen to her. Depression is real on different scales. Mentally, physically, chemically, whatever way you want to put it, it's real. To believe it isn't real is extremely foolish. There is no big conspiracy where millions of people have tricked themselves into some sort of excuse or weakness. That's foolish. This is a real thing. And so she got on the pills, and in a couple weeks she was good again. She's been okay. That was a scary thing. It was very weird to just not have control over your brain chemistry in a way like that. Very odd. It's very scary. And luckily the pills are working. And that's a thing as well, is people where you have it mental, you can take the pills and they level out your brain chemistry as well. It's a very complicated subject that I know I'm glossing over, and I'm probably doing it wrong. Keep hitting that mic. I'm doing it wrong. I already know I'm saying this wrong in some ways already, and my apologies. Because it's not my expertise. But I'm giving you anecdotal evidence. Anecdotal evidence is never expertise. That's the thing. I trust in the many doctors, in the many scientists who have covered depression, that it's real. I trust in the overwhelming majority of the science community that climate change is real. After all, since I made that connection, I'll say that as well. I trust in science. The mistrust of experts is one of the most weirdest things in ever. Very odd. Now, with that done, let's talk about Dean Takahashi. Like everyone else, when I saw that Cuphead video, I was like, what the fuck? I was very cringe. It was very cringy. Dude, what the hell? Now, the problem was I was misinformed. The problem is a lot of people are misinformed. Some are willfully misinformed. Some just don't have the time. I didn't have the time for the longest time. I finally read up on it, and my opinion prior was dumb compared to my opinion now I feel. Because I was under the impression that when Dean Takahashi, if I'm saying that correctly, was doing this video, he was reviewing the game. He wasn't. He was just doing I'm bad at this game, check it out, have a laugh. That's what he was doing. And people took this as a way more serious thing. He does review games, but he's not reviewing Cuphead. He's not the man that's going to review Cuphead. He reviews other things. His main job, though, is he's a writer. He writes about technology and gaming. He's been writing technology for 25, 26 years, gaming for like 18 years. And he's reporting on things. He's doing like interviews, he's doing previews, he's doing stuff like that. He does have reviews, but the vast majority of what he does is just information, news, actual news. I can appreciate that. The man doesn't need to be competent at gaming for that. He needs to be confident at writing for that. And thankfully, he's very good at writing. That's kind of important. I read some of the articles to be sure. But yeah, the man can write. He can definitely write. That's good. He knows how to talk to people. He knows how to interview people. These are things that are important for a games journalist in that form. If you're a games journalist that reviews, I want you to be competent at a game. I understand that mindset. I want my reviewer to know what the hell they're talking about. Since he's not reviewing Cuphead, him getting crap for being bad at Cuphead is undeserved in my opinion. He's just bad at Cuphead. But I thought he was a reviewer of it, so that's why I was really not happy about it. But knowing that, there you go. And I'd rather it just stay there. It's like, oh, he's not reviewing, so it's fine. But this conversation comes out, goes a bigger thing, because, of course, everyone's talking about it. Games journalists are rallying to his defense, talking about this or that or a bunch of things. And I think some of the reactions kind of made it worse. But, of course, you still have the old wounds of gamers who get mad about people being paid to do games and stuff like that. And you got to be an expert. You just got to be really good in general. And that's just wrong. The only people I feel need to be good at games are the reviewers. I feel like, and only in their genre. If you are an RTS player, I don't need you to be an expert. I need you to be competent. I need you to know what the hell you're doing. You can do that. I know I can trust your review because you like RTS. You're good. You have a competency. You'll have good knowledge on that. If you're an RTS player covering a platformer, you shouldn't have any business doing that. And yet that does happen. And I get annoyed with that, and I understand other people's annoyances as well because of that. Polygon has been guilty of this. IGN has been guilty of this. Other sites have been guilty of this, where they just got to get the reviews out, so they just have whoever do it, and sometimes it is someone who has no business doing it, and you can tell, and it is frustrating. And that annoyance, I understand. That is something that it should be, is you should have a competency in your thing. But you need to understand what competency a person should have. Dean is competent in writing. Very competent. That's what's important for him. He's good at it. There you go. For a reviewer, you got to be competent at writing for sure, but also at playing, so you can show whatever nuances about something. If someone's a bullet hell player, they understand grazing. They understand whatever concepts the game is doing. Maybe the game doesn't do grazing. Maybe it only does any party gets touched, you're dead. Or maybe you've got modular building of your ships, or whatever thing going on. They'll understand that, they'll be able to convey that, that'll be really good for people who are into bullet hells. And so on and so forth, is the person knows their thing, they'll explain it well, and it'll get more people to want to buy the game, it'll get more people interested in the game, and interested in the review. That is my mindset. And just all the stuff around it's just holy crap. But I just want competent reviewers, that's it. And so, just reading, I'm like, yeah, Dean Takahashi does not deserve the crap he's been getting. He does deserve a little bit from the reactions he's made, where he could have reacted a little bit better to people reacting to him. But at the same time, I don't know. It's kind of hard to ignore that many people mad at you. But I think just ignoring it all probably would have worked out better for him than fighting it head on, because it just made things worse. And he got a little insulting. People got insulting. It just wasn't good, and just made more people mad. There are people who are angry for the sake of being angry. Those people were there, that's for sure, and they can go to hell. They really can. Being mad for the sake of being mad, I'm getting tired of it in general with outrage culture these days. There's better things to do than just complaining about literally everything. I think we could do better and understand better, and actually reading articles and actually understanding the context of things. I think that's very important. Last note, bring it back to me because it's my vlog. That's why we don't do reviews. We don't do reviews because I feel like I don't like scoring. I don't like any of that anymore. I'm like, I want to know what you think, so I'll read the pros and cons part. I don't care about the score. I'll look at pros, I'll look at cons, I'll look at a couple other reviews, pros and cons, try to understand what people like and don't like about the game, and then go from there. For me, doing this, we do recommendations within the reviews, because there is merit to reviewing, but everyone does reviewing already, so why even do that? I feel like recommendations are better because I don't want to crap on a game that's terrible because it's just terrible. That's just all negativity, and I just want to do some positive, and that is just recommendations. That is what the one-shots are. The one-shots are, this game, here it is, I had fun with it, see if you'll have fun with it too, just selling you on the game, things like that. I have considered doing something that's not review, but something critical in that looking at a game and go like, okay, here's a game, and it's not good. It's almost good, but it's not good. Here are the merits to it. Here are the shortcomings to it. How could it have been better? I've been thinking about this for like months. Because I feel like thoughts on what could be better about the game design for these games would be interesting, but at the same time, I'm not a game designer. I only am a person who's been playing games for 31 years. I'm just a person who's been... I've been playing since I was like 2, because my family gave me like the Fisher-Price thing or whatever. The Fisher-Price Atari thing. So I've been playing since I was 2, so I've been playing for like 30 years then. Maybe 29 years. So I have innate, I guess, things with gaming, but doesn't mean I understand design. At the end of the day, I'd still want to... If I did this, I'd want to read about design. I'd want to read more on game development in general, so that if I'm making critiques about what I think this game could do better, it wouldn't just be like, well, I think it'd be better because of this and that, but I could actually back it up with some structured reasoning. I've been thinking about that, but we're not in a position to do that. But if I wanted to be more critical, I'd want to be critical in a useful way. It's funny to crap on a bad game. It's very funny, it's very cathartic, and it's just enjoyable. But I want to do something with merit, not just something funny, because we already do that with the LP. So if I ever did something like that, there you go. As always, this is one of many ideas where I'd be curious to do it. Whether I do it or not, we would see, but right now, probably not, because jobs and everything. There's no room to do that. But that's what it is. Lots of ideas. So there you go. That is the vlog. I think it was a pretty good vlog. It's talking about a bunch of things. It's just important to read up on something before you have an opinion. I think it's kind of really important. And at first, I didn't have an opinion. I didn't read up enough when I had my opinion on Takahashi. Now I've read up and I have a different opinion. I think it's a better opinion. It's just that it takes effort to do that. And that's the problem. Is a lot of people, me as well, sometimes get lazy and don't put in the effort. But there you go. That right there is the vlog. I had fun talking about it for watching and listening. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by and see you next time.